stop. Before you do anything else today, before you speak to anyone, before you make a single decision, I want you to hear one truth that almost no one has told you yet. The most successful people you admire, the ones who changed their cities, their families, their communities, most of them did not follow the path that was planned for them. They found their own. And here is what I know with certainty. The path you are about to discover is not a second choice. It is your first calling. It has been waiting for you. Stay with me for the next 15 minutes. By the end, you will not just feel motivated. You will have a direction, a plan, and the confidence to walk it. Let me ask you something. When you were a child, 5 years old, 6 years old, did anyone ask you what stream you wanted to study in class 11? Did anyone ask whether you preferred organic chemistry or Newton's laws? Of course not. Because at that age, the world still knew you as a whole person. They saw your creativity, your curiosity, your way of telling stories, your ability to understand people. Somewhere along the way, we as a society created a hierarchy. We told children that there are serious subjects and easy subjects. We told them that intelligence looks a certain way, sounds a certain way, and is measured a certain way. That idea, I want to say this clearly and with full authority, that idea is wrong. It has always been wrong. Think about the people who run India's most powerful offices today. Think about diplomats, collectors, judges, professors, authors, journalists, and social reformers. Ask them what they studied. You will be surprised. A very large number of them studied arts. History, political science, sociology, psychology, economics, and literature. And they became the people who shape the world we live in. The arts stream is not a destination for those who could not go elsewhere. The arts stream is a launching pad for people who want to understand human beings, who want to communicate, to lead, to create, to govern, to heal. It is the stream that trains you in the most complex skill any human being can develop: understanding the world and the people in it. Let me tell you a story. There is a town along the Mahanadi River in Odisha. A girl grew up there, in a family that believed in hard work and education. Her father was a government employee. Her mother was a homemaker. Like most children in her circle, she was told that the path to success meant science. That was the only definition of achievement in her world. In class 12, she struggled. The subjects felt distant. But she was extraordinary in other ways. She could write. She could read a room full of people and understand exactly what they were feeling. She could make complex ideas simple. She could argue, persuade, and tell stories. After her results came, the family went quiet for several days. The silence was heavy. But then she made a decision. Not with anger, not with resignation, but with absolute clarity. She enrolled in a BA program with political science, English, and history at a good college in Odisha. Her relatives said it was a downgrade. Her neighbors whispered. For years later, she appeared for the Odisha Civil Services examination. She had spent those years reading voraciously. History, polity, current affairs, economics. She had developed a writing style that was precise and powerful. She had learned to think in arguments. She cleared the examination in her first attempt. She was posted as a block development officer in the very district where she grew up. Today, she works directly with villages, with schools, with farmers. She makes decisions that change real lives. When people ask her what helped her most in the exam, she says this: "Arts taught me to think. It taught me to ask the right questions. That is the only skill the exam is ever testing." Her story is not unique. Across Odisha, across India, young people from the arts stream have entered the civil services, the judiciary, the media, the corporate world, and the creative industries. They got there not despite choosing arts, but because of it. Now let us talk practically. Because motivation without direction is just emotion. And I want to give you both. When you pursue the arts stream at any good college in Odisha, specific doors open for you. The UPSC and OPSC civil services examinations are the most sought-after career paths in India. The general studies paper that forms their backbone covers history, polity, geography, economy, ethics, and current affairs. That is almost entirely the arts curriculum. Arts students spend 4 years building exactly the knowledge base these exams demand. Civil servants need to understand society. Arts trains you to do exactly that. You can pursue an integrated BA LLB, a 5-year program combining arts subjects with law. Lawyers and judges are not just prestigious. They are powerful. You become the person who stands between injustice and the people it would harm. Journalism and mass communication give you a platform that few careers can match. India language journalism is vibrant and growing. English journalism connects Odisha to the national conversation. Psychology and social work are in enormous demand today, in schools, hospitals, NGOs, and corporations. And teaching. Teaching is not a backup plan. Through competitive exams like TET and OTT, you can build a stable, respected government career in Odisha while shaping hundreds of young minds every single year. I want to stop here and say something important directly to you. You may have been told that results define your worth. That a number on a mark sheet determines your future. I want to challenge that idea, not with opinion, but with evidence. Rabindranath Tagore, India's first Nobel laureate, the man who wrote our national anthem, was pulled out of school because the traditional system simply did not work for him. He went on to change literature, music, and education across the entire subcontinent. Not despite his unconventional path. Because of it. APJ Abdul Kalam, the man who became India's most beloved president, came from a small coastal town in South India. His family was not wealthy. His path was not smooth. But he kept moving. He kept learning. He kept building. These are not stories from motivational posters. These are real people who faced real obstacles and chose to keep moving forward. The obstacle in front of you is real. I am not going to pretend it is not. But it is not a wall. It is a door. Let me tell you about one more person. A young man from a small town in Odisha. He came from a family that spoke their local dialect at home, Odia in school, and Hindi on the street. English was a foreign language to him, one that felt distant and almost intimidating. But he had a hunger. He loved to read. He would go to the district library every week and borrow books in any language he could find. Slowly, his English improved. By class 12, he was writing essays that his teachers would read aloud as examples. He scored very high in English. But he did not know what to do with it. A retired schoolteacher sat him down one evening and said, "Your language is a weapon. Use it." He enrolled in an English honors program. He graduated. He appeared for a government examination and was selected as a translator for a central government department. Later, he moved into content strategy for a technology firm operating across Southeast Asia. Today, he works from his hometown in Odisha, earning more than many engineers in the state capital. He built his entire career on the foundation of language. Now let me ask you something. You scored 80% in English. In a world where English is the global currency of communication, in government, in business, in media, in international relations, that score is not just a number. It is a signal. It is telling you something about yourself that you need to hear clearly. You have a natural relationship with language. And language is not just grammar and spelling. Language is thinking. Language is persuasion. Language is empathy expressed with precision. The people who can write clearly, speak confidently, and communicate powerfully are in demand across every single sector, public or private, local or global. Your score in English is the foundation on which you can build anything. An English honors degree. A law degree. The civil services essay paper. Journalism. Content writing. Teaching. Policy work. Public relations. Do not let anyone tell you that your English score is a small victory. It is the most transferable skill you have ever demonstrated. And in the arts stream, it will be your most powerful tool. Now let us bring this home. Literally. You live in Odisha. And I want you to understand that where you live is not a limitation. It is an advantage that students in big cities simply do not have. Odisha has government universities and affiliated colleges spread across every district, offering BA programs in English, history, political science, economics, and sociology. Tuition is affordable. Graduates from these institutions have become IAS officers, judges, journalists, and professors. Every district has colleges where you can begin your education at minimal cost and build maximum opportunity. Odisha also has the OPSC, the Odisha Public Service Commission, which conducts state-level civil service exams designed for people who understand Odisha's culture, language, geography, and governance. An arts student who studies consistently after graduation can qualify for these exams and serve the very community they grew up in. Your geography is not an obstacle. It is your context. And for an arts student, context is not a problem. It is a resource. Here's what I want you to do this week. Identify 2 or 3 BA programs in your district or nearby. Research the admission process and dates. Write them down. Talk to one person who pursued arts and built a career. A teacher, a senior student, a family friend. Listen to their path. Not to copy it, but to understand that it is possible, that it is real, and that it is near. Begin reading. 1 newspaper every day. 1 page of any book that interests you. Your English is already strong. Let it become stronger. Language is a muscle, and you are already ahead of most people your age. And finally, give yourself permission to believe that this is not a detour. This is your route. Written specifically for someone with your mind, your strengths, your curiosity. You are 17 years old. That means you have the entire decade of your 20s ahead of you. 10 years of building, learning, earning, and becoming. 10 years is everything. The people who are most respected in any field, the sharpest lawyers, the most compelling journalists, the most effective civil servants, are almost always the people who chose to understand the world deeply rather than follow it blindly. You have that capacity. You have always had it. The arts stream does not define your ceiling. It removes it. Now go. Begin. The world is waiting for what only you can contribute to it.